office tower, what I need to have is basically have the top curve of this one. So I'll be sorting my retail curves based on their heights. So what I'm doing now is taking those curves and taking their midpoints, because in order to sort them by their height, I need their centroids, because their centroids midpoint, their centroid z coordinate is going to be my height, right? So I'll be sorting these curves based on these values. If I grab a list item here, this is going to be my list, but obviously if I need to get the last curve of that list, because it puts curves starting from the lowest and it goes up, right? So what I can do, I can group this part and maybe color it to red. And the next thing that I'll be doing this time is I'll be scaling this curve. But this time, instead of like creating the same kind of organization, which we can, by the way, we are going to, like, let's say, scale it from a location that is going to be adjacent to one of these edges. So we can evaluate curve and reparameterize this and pull out a slider, and this is going to be my location, and I want it to be smaller than what I have, so 0.55, between 0.55 to 0.80. Maybe I can do it this way. 0.55 is smaller than 0.80, because these are the sliders we are going to use for Galapagos, right? So I can group this, I can maybe have it, have a frame around this, and maybe a frame around this one. Oh, which I already have from my test, so I can leave it as there. So I can, next what I can say is the same thing that I did here, right? This one. So I can have this and then copy it over here. And this time I can color this with red. Color this with red. I made it to default. That's fine, but I can come over here, make color default again. Purple is our color, right? So I can grab this geometry as my geometry and connect this to here. So again, we have to make a sort of a decision here. If you want to have 2000 meters here with this like 141 as its area, you see it's gonna go larger. So if we make it really large, we are actually creating this kind of a thing. Well, one thing you may want to have here is to a bit like difference in square meter limit. So let's say 100 or 1500, and floor height, let's say 4 for this, okay? Or let's leave it as 5. Okay, what was the first one? It was 5, so maybe first one with 7, this one with 5. And the next thing that I want to do here is to buff them. Or I can copy this part as well. But this time let's make it bluish. Okay, and I can group this all with our red color. So this can be a way for us to have this one in, and obviously when we change this, we'll see that the things are going to change. Things are going to change here as well. So this is completely up to you. I mean, you can have the same thing, or we can now go for in the next video, we'll be doing the last but not least, the third part of this tower, which is our which is our residential part or hotel part. So stay tuned for the next video where we follow up with this.